way I think of it is that you can be a little woke, you can be a lot woke. And the way that I've kind of been thinking of it lately, I don't want to do the whole metaphor or get into the whole metaphor, but this detachment from reality, it's like, I want to think of it like there's a bar across the top, and then there's two chains on the end that slide down into the pits. Right, the left pit and the right pit, if you want, for left woke and right woke. It doesn't matter. We could just have one pit. I don't care. But I want you to imagine, we often talk about the slippery slope. What it is it's like each link down that chain, you can go down like 2 links, 3 links, 4 links, maybe there's 100 links down into being totally woke, right? So once you start sliding down that chain, what I want people to understand is that the chain is in effect greased. And the further down you are, the more grease there is on each link. So the further down you get, the easier it is to slip down and the harder it is to climb back up. So that's just kind of a metaphor that when you start to detach from reality, it's like a slippery slope that gets slipperier the further down you go. But I like the idea of using a chain because you have this idea of links that you can hold on to. So maybe you've only gone so far, right? So maybe you're a gender critical radical feminist, right? A so-called TERF, right? A trans exclusionary radical feminist. So you've now adopted all of this radical feminism stuff, but sex is still real. So you've got a link of the chain to reality that you're still gripping onto. But then the trans activists come from below you and they've got their weight on your ankles, and that's a slippery chain saying that's arbitrary. Sex is just as arbitrary as gender, is just as arbitrary as everything else. It's all expression of power. And because you're on the chain, what makes it slippery is the fact that you've already adopted this non-realistic worldview where some stuff is actually not real. And so you don't have the ability to grip onto the chain. And like I said, the further down you get, the more links down you are. Say there's 100. By the time you get to like 60 or 70, those links are really slippery. And when you get all the way down to the bottom, even if the chain's there to climb back out, it's really hard to climb back out. So I think that's an important way to think about how this dynamic works.